if not the biggest, divider and ruler of all. Me, me, me. When you are looking at every situation in response only to how does this benefit me, how does this affect me, what are the consequences for me, you are, with that response, with that attitude, immediately disconnecting yourself from every other human being on the planet, because this situation affects me, me, me in what way? You're already in a bubble. Instead of saying, what is the fair and just thing to do in this situation? Not for me, but for the greater good. And when you do that, you connect yourself with the greater human family instead of disconnecting yourself from it. It's the ultimate divide and rule, where you're dividing and ruling people down, not to this group against this group or this religion against this religion, but actually individual against the other individuals on the planet. Because that's what me, me, me does. I don't care how it affects you, affects you, affects you, me, me, me. So if you have a situation where you're only doing that, then obviously you're going to create a society based on me, 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 and a situation where what happens to other people doesn't matter. Now, you come across people who are in that me, me, me mode, and then they'll complain about austerity programs by governments, saying it's not fair on this person or that person, and we don't want a me, me, me society, we want a fair society. But when it comes to his situation, how do I respond? The question is not how does the greater good benefit, but how does this affect me, me, me? And I would say this, I've said it before, what would change this world overnight and so dilute this process of perception manipulation that Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars details, is if we started saying, when a situation arose, not how does this affect me, what is the best thing to do for me in this situation, but to say, what is the fair and just thing to do for the greater good in the situation that I face. So with that attitude, you might say, well, I might not get what I want out of this situation, but if I did, it wouldn't be fair. So therefore, you do the fair thing rather than the me, me, me thing. Just think of that. If people started saying, what is the best, the most just and fair thing to do in this situation, suddenly the world changes. Suddenly people are caring for each other. Suddenly they are doing what is right for the greater good rather than for themselves. And the manipulation of perception, the manipulation of the psyche that this document describes, one of its foundations is to get people to think only of self, because they know that that in so many ways is the ultimate in divide and rule. And so you get situations where people say that something must happen, and we must get behind something, or this must happen for the greater good. And then when something happens they don't like, they want to destroy something that was created for the greater good. And that's what I mean. And so you get so-called radical people who claim to be fighting the system, and they've been played like a violin by the system. And it's systematic, and they don't know they're doing it because the system has them. So you look at this, and you look at what this social engineering wants to create, which is a divided, at war with itself society, so the few can control the mass of the people. So one antidote to it is, don't always say what's right for me in a situation, but what's right for the greater good. The other thing is, never give up. Never give up standing up for what you believe in. Because what this is designed to do is to put so much pressure on those that do stand up and speak out against the system, and I've detailed a few things of what it says you do to them, that they give up and walk away. And in the 25 years I've been on this road, I've seen so many people come, and they were flavor of the month in the conspiracy arena for a while, and then they go, and what happened to them? Don't know. And then you come, and then they go, what happened to them? Don't know. And then they go, oh, no, I can't be doing it anymore. It's too much hassle, mate. You know, I mean, people having a go at me. Oh, I can't be doing with it. And there's this thing they say, a puppy is for life, not just for Christmas. Well, if you want to head off what this and all these other things we talk about in the Dot Connecting show are dedicated to introducing, if you want to head off your children and grandchildren and people even alive today, most of them alive today, are going to face, then challenging it is not when it suits you. Challenging it is not for a year. It's for life. And no matter what they throw at you, you never give up, because that's what this is trying to get you into, a state of cracking up and walking away. Too much pressure. Oh, really? I feel for you. What about people who haven't got anything to eat in Africa and other parts of the world? Hey? What about kids being abused and having their lives destroyed by political pedophiles and all this other stuff that goes on? Yeah? What about all the people that are in desperate trouble now? Disabled people having their benefits taken away. Don't you tell me that standing up for what you believe in gives you more pressure than that. Let's never give up. Let's never walk away. Because what are we saying? Okay, I accept that this nightmare society is going to happen because I haven't got the backbone to stand up to it ongoing for as long as it takes, or what's happening to me is more important than that. And if we don't do that in enough numbers, this will reach its goal of a society that will have people nothing more than terminals on a computer system, being told what to think, being told what to do, and having no freedom whatsoever. You tell me the pressure's too great to stand up to that. And I tell you that, I tell you what, and I think I may have proved this over the years. No matter what's thrown at me for the rest of my life, however long it will be, I will never give up, ever, on challenging this and alerting people to it, no matter how me, and people without a backbone to keep going may try to undermine me. I ain't going anywhere.
Brilliant stuff, David.